different parts of this discussion. I'm going to put my hat on because my hair is all over the place. But a few areas of discussion that I think are very important here. As we can see, Ethereum has come down below, and we'll go into the chart, but it's below the rising wedge. That if you're new, this will be the first time you're seeing this. But if you've been here for a while, we've piggybacked off of this pattern, knowing full well if we came outside of it that it is not good sign. Now, hopefully this could be like a weekly wick or something, but that rising wedge, the technical breakdown from here, that technical target is like down at $496. And if this is something bigger in the market, well, that could be interesting. Now, I've also circled it out because in theory, it could still create an inverse head and shoulders pattern there. But being in a rising wedge and being on the bottom side of it, I don't necessarily like the look of that. Now, yesterday I did come on here and show you guys that BlackRock was selling a portion, and it was of Bitcoin and Ethereum. So, you know, we knew there was going to be some downside pressure, but how far do we go in? A better point is some of this money going to find itself out of Ethereum and out of Bitcoin and find itself into different regions of the alt tokens? That's something we don't know. You know, that's something we don't know. So there's always that factor that is the unknown. Now, Fred Rispoli came out and, you know, is talking his junk or whatever, whether it's true or not, but is saying that it's very simple. There is a resolution and the case is essentially already over. And then he claimed a resolution. So we'll read through what is going on there. So the question also can be asked, is this more of a let's freak out the market and get more sellers than not that have joined this market after the bull run started for XRP? Because a lot of people still don't even understand that XRP has been in a bona fide bull market and it 10x in this run. So a 10x is absolutely a bull market and then some. So, and a lot of people took on the liquidity side of XRP because they bought it after it was plus $2 or plus $3 in some cases here. So, you know, just because someone might have bought it 30% and they're down doesn't change the fact that XRP is still, and now it's back into bear market territory. It's dropped more than 20%. So technically it's flipped back into bear market territory. But this time the bear market territory, are we switching price levels now? Like, would this be the time where it could hold like $1.50 in a bad scenario? Or $1.98, you know, or like we have now? Is it a possibility where these can be the floors? So, you know, these are questions we have to ask ourselves. And I think it's very easy to get ahead of ourselves. I think it's easy to, you know, maybe overlook this. But that's a reason why I like to overbuy what I'm going to have. And that's what I've tried to teach my audience. If you want 10,000 tokens of something, aim for 20. If you want 100,000 of something, aim for 200,000. Because then when you get into a bull market, you can sell out exactly what you were going to sell out, what you were going to initially hold, and not feel guilty about it when that point comes. And then still hold exactly what you plan to have to begin with. And then you're sitting on not just pure profit, but like in XRP's case, you could be up on let's say you wanted 10,000 tokens and you did the same thing I'm talking about. You bought 20,000 at the totality when it was in the bear market. And then you're like, well, I want to sell out my holdings because I made $30,000. Well, then you sell out those 10,000 and then the other 10,000 you hold on with dear life until the bear market, until it shows you unequivocally that it's going into bear market territory. And unfortunately for that case, you know, you'd have to see more than likely $1.50 snap, but at least $1.98. So that's but there's a very key level here. Like for me, everything I talk a lot of like we're strong, or we don't have to panic overly. But that to me, that $2.14 mark is a very, very, very big area for me, and it has been, and it will continue to be going forward. But yeah, I would have to come down. I like how Nick said 209 because you can't just do it right at the first sign, and you got to wait for it to go through that level because there is a big level here. But like the only thing that sucks is that I mean, we've gotten a lot of downward pressure, and it's like I have been screaming for the profit takers the last month and a half to do some dirty work here, but it's been It's obviously not looking great. I mean, we've stayed in this channel, we've stayed in this area, but that's what we're looking at. You know, that's what we're looking at. So we'll see how this holds. Ethereum, like I said, coming outside of that rising wedge, that's been a point of emphasis for us for some time because Ethereum is supposed to lead the alt tokens in the alt season. But as we can see, very clearly looks like that looked like a rising wedge to me. And yeah, it fell out prematurely. So I could see some fireworks back up. Generally, you wouldn't fall out right here. Generally, it would fill out and then fall out. This fell out awfully early. So it seems like this might have been manipulated in some ways. And the other thing that generally it's not quite adding up. If you look at the crypto fear and greed index, it doesn't generally dump on fear and dump the like on extreme fear and just overly dump the market because there's not enough people trapped yet because it makes too much sense to come back up now. Like if I was playing this dog and pony show, I would come back up and grab the top side liquidity. And I think that's what we're going to see in the weeks and months to come here until we get into like maybe around Easter time. But I think at some point here, we're probably going to hit a hardcore reversal. But what do I always tell you? Buy the fear and extreme fear and sell the greed and extreme greed. Right now, we're in the consolidation mode now. You know, now we're starting to get back into that moment. The best of news usually comes during extreme. Absolutely. And what's happening tomorrow? We've got technically, you know, with Ripple and the SEC, there's a meeting tomorrow. I can't see them doing it, Nick. I can't see them leaving those billions of dollars in shorts. So, and the heat liquidation map definitely tells us a lot. But let me do the intro real quick. Make sure to hit that like button. Only about 20% of you have hit the like button, which I probably wouldn't hit the like button either if I was mad about the market. So, with that being said, good evening. 6:55 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Wednesday, February 26th, 2025. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So, lots to talk about here. And another thing that we're going to talk about here, too, is this. So, XRP in focus as Ripple releases institutional roadmap for XRP Ledger. Isn't it cool how they always release this stuff in the downtime when nobody gives a rat's ass? Like, we do. But I'm talking about the general public. XRP's down and they're going to say, who gives a rat's ass about these institutions? They're dumping on us, costing us all this money. But the information's always right out in front of us. It's really a crazy thing. So we're going to learn some stuff tonight. We're not so much going to focus on the charts tonight, but we're going to learn a lot tonight. And I like this background because it's got the Christmas tree and it brings me back to good times. I like Christmas. My birthday's on December 17th as well. So, but I just like Christmas. It's a happy time. And I like the Christmas spirit. I feel like we've lost the Christmas spirit now in humanity again. So I'll be praying for everybody as I hope you all pray for me as well. So, but we've got a lot of liquidity up here. And you know, it's the funny thing is look how much we built here at 285 now. Some of this, sometimes you guys have to realize too how sometimes some of the liquidity goes away too. Because people secured such big profits. But now it's just kind of switched over levels now. You know, now the levels are kind of switched up to 285. And there are trillions of dollars here. But up here you can see there was a level of profit taking up here for sure. But we did come through this liquidity that we feared as well. We've seen this as well. But I have a hard time believing they're going to leave it all. So we'll see. We'll see how this pans out here. But it's going to get tricky. It's going to get tricky. I do like this. I do like the look of this. But you can see a lot of it does flow into America. It really does. When you start actually paying attention to it, a lot of this flows into America. So I'd like to see it moving more. I mean, it moves in bunches as well, but man, we got a lot to talk about. Jesus Louisos. But yeah, with the charts, we got 2 minutes until the daily close. I mean, the one good news, if you want to talk about good news, we closed above $2.14. You know, that's good news. The end of this candle didn't exactly look so great on the 2-hourly. But, you know, but it's a little bearish. A little bearish. 3-hourly, daily. At least we didn't make a new low. Like, that's something. Or, yeah, that's something. See? That's actually a good sign. Nick knows. Now, I don't like the bearish cross, but the fact we didn't make a new low, maybe we can bounce off of here back to the top of this channel. But we've definitely dug ourselves a hole here with resistance on the way back up. But I still see what could be an inverse head and shoulder, and we're still above that neckline. So, and that would be the lower support that's been used as the neckline. This channel just happened to kind of form in here. Falling channel at that. But we just don't want this to be head and shoulders. And, you know, now it's getting to that point where, oh boy, you know, the Holy Toledo moment. And then Ethereum's doing us no favors, as we said. But again, one thing that I'm going to still look at and be like, hey, we got the XRP Bitcoin pairing where it really looks like it bottomed towards Bitcoin. And wouldn't this technically be one of those head and shoulder patterns as well? You know, you got the left shoulder, head and right shoulder, if that's what it's trying to do. But couldn't we say that it's creating what looks like an inverse head and shoulders? And maybe, just maybe, it's breaking out and it's back tested and now it's trying to push out. Like, this is what gives me hope. You know, my gut feeling tells me it probably isn't going to drop here. It's probably got to liquidate the shorts now. That's my gut telling me, but, you know, it's been wrong before, and it'll be wrong again. The charts try to tell me, you know, pay attention to, like, where we're at in the cycle, because we're absolutely on the outside of this consolidation. So, if it wanted to trap somebody to sell, they did a great job the last couple of days. And then if they wanted to reverse it midweek before the weekend and the escrow dump and things like that, this would be a pretty good time. But you know what I found interesting? There was about $1.4 billion liquidated between long and shorts in about a 48-hour period. Would you want to guess how much the Bybit hack was worth? Just throw out a figure. Oh, 1.5 billion. So is it ironic to you that the exact amount that was hacked out of Bybit got liquidated out of the market? I'm just asking, does that seem weird to any of you? No, or 1.5 billion. I mean, it's crazy. It's basically been the exact amount that was hacked out of Bybit, which it wasn't even a hack, cough, cough, because Bybit actually signed off on sending it to an unverified wallet, sending their cold wallet holdings of Ethereum, which to me makes 0 sense. So you're going to tell me just by pure dumb luck, and at the same time, mind you, somebody shared in the Telegram, which I thought was fantastic. Let's go back into this because there's been a lot of talk in the Telegram today. I don't know how hard it's going to be to go back in it because I don't usually look at it on my tablet. Oh, H-bar. I remember Tanya shared that. Tanya, we're going to look at that right before I log off here. I just want to see what that USDC one was. Where was this at? It was earlier, but there's been a lot of conversation in here today. Oh, I already passed it, didn't I? Oh, maybe I missed it. I know USDC somebody had put in here about how much they minted. But yeah, that's big news for H-bar. So breaking, H-bar Hedera coin just dropped a bombshell. Swift testing coming in 2025. The global financial messaging giant is set to begin testing. This is massive for digital asset adoption. Swift connects over 11,000 banks and processes trillions in transactions daily. Think real-time settlements, tokenized asset, and micro payments going mainstream. Thank you so much, Tanya. And I see you're in here, love. I really appreciate it. Thank you for being in Tom's Army for so very long. Over 3 years with the XRP 58, or what is that? 2 years with the XRP 589 Moon Badge. I love it. Love it. All of you in Tom's Army, thank you so much for continuing to support my work. It really does mean a lot to me. So yeah, that's big news. That's for sure big news. Now I can't find the USDC stuff. Maybe it ended up not being so true. I don't know. Oh, right here. So, Justin, 570 million USDC has been deposited into Coinbase. So, I don't know how many more people have seen this, but that was earlier today. So that's good. That's a good thing. If that turns out to be true, that'll be a good thing. But H bar, that's big news with the H bar. And hopefully now that a lot of people are jumping off a cliff, we like extreme fear around here. We like to sell in extreme greed, which is where we took, the overages and profit with what we had over what we wanted. But then in extreme greed, you do your best. You do your best. But it's different, everybody. If you're not in a point of profit, you can't think like that. We're talking as if we bought from the bear market because we did. And yeah, some of these tokens are well below the 2021 bear market. But from where we bought it from, even H bar right now was at 4.5 cents. So even though it's not at $1, it's still at 19 cents. That's a bona fide bull market from where it started. It's just, it's consolidated now after it went to its high. Just like XLM came up from 8 cents and now it's at 28. All of these have universally pretty much done that. XRP is just outperforming like a son of a gun because it came up from 38 cents at the bottom of that, at the peak of the bear market. That was the lowest it got during the peak of it. Not during the gist of it, but like at the back end, the peak of it, it got to 28.5 cents. But it was at 38, that last bounce it took about 2 months before we had the breakout. And now we're sitting at $2.19 and $2.20. If I told you guys, let's be honest, everyone in my XRP crowd, because I'm XRP Future Millionaire, I know we talk about the ISO tokens, but if you bought with me at 34 cents and I told you February 26th of 2025, when we bought in 23, that it'd be at $2.20. What would you have said to me right now? Knowing nothing else, you would probably have laughed first of all and said there's no way because we can't even get over $1. But what would you have said if that was you? Oh yeah, I know we could have bought more. I'm saying, yes, you crazy, exactly. But the point is now like, what if you take it a step farther and say, what if I told you that we had already went up to $3.40 and this is a bona fide back test and we've already went down as low as like $1.80 and we've held it, now we're back to 220. You'd have said, oh my God. There's no way. Because in 2021, when it happened, it just came right through and there was nothing else. For all intents and purposes, folks, I mean, according to the XRP Bitcoin pairing, we shouldn't be sweating. Imagine selling with fear and greed index at 10. What's the all-time low? Geez, much love, Tom. Thank you for the $5 donation to It's All in Illusion and also being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XRP, 3 months with the XRP Meteor. No, exactly. I mean, you're not supposed to sell fear. You can think about what you want to do if it doesn't work out, but you really want to be selling in greed and extreme greed. You want to be buying in fear and extreme fear, because this is where the unsavvy or the unseasoned trader is going to end up buying and selling, not knowing which way is up or down. But the majority of that is only because we're buying, some of us, or some of you. I try to make us all inclusive, but some of us don't start buying until, the bull market starts. Like, I always tell the story of the 7-Eleven guy. I will go in there all the time, buy stuff for Julie and myself and my son and whatever we need. And I like to go there because I stop in there when I'm walking home from the gym. And it's about 3/4 of a mile from my house. It's not bad. The gym's like a mile almost. But it's good exercise. So when I leave the gym, I'll stop there on the way home. And I'm telling this guy literally since 2022 about, look how low these crypto tokens are. Look how low these utility and Bitcoin's down here. And it was like at 25,000. And then it got down to, I think, 15 or 16. But I'm telling him, like, if you want to buy crypto, this is the time. And he's thinking I'm a friggin' idiot. And I'm telling him all this stuff. And then all of a sudden, Bitcoin almost hits 100,000. And I'm go there to buy something for Julie. And this guy with a straight face looks at me and says, hey, I just bought Bitcoin. It's supposed to be the next big thing. Like, this is going to be a world reserve, all this crap. And I'm like, motherfucker, are you really going to sit here with a straight face and you're going to tell me to buy Bitcoin and crypto when I've been telling you for 2 years in the bear market to get your big ass out there? You're making money and to do it. And now you're going to stonewall me here and act like you're the one giving me the advice. Like, that's when I knew. And that's exactly when I started taking profit. I told the story on here when the people were trying to tell me to buy it, when I've been telling them in the bear market to buy it. I knew it was the time. It was no different than my local shoe shiner telling me stock advice. And like, I would like to think that I would be the one who would have the information when it comes to this, because I do it every single day and I study it like there's no other. And this guy, the guy working behind and he all of a sudden he knew about some of these tokens. He's like, what do you think about that XRP? And not XRP, but what he said was Bitcoin, Ethereum, and what was the other one he said? He said one of the memes. I don't remember the meme. It was actually doing very well until it wasn't. So I'm like, oh man. Oh man. People never give me credit for being right either, Tom. Tyndale, yeah, it's not so much about being right. I don't want the credit. It was just the fact that these people don't hear it when you're saying it. So then when it's like this, you got to feed off of that. You got to feed off of that. You know, and see, because when the market cycle's bad and you know you should be buying, nobody cares. They should care, but they don't care. It's the human condition. When we should be buying, nobody's buying. But when we should be selling, everybody's buying. You know, and now even right now, with how much it's dropped, right, from $3.40, I guarantee there's somebody watching right now. We've dropped from $3.40. I told my audience at $3.28 when I sold, not all of my XRP, but I always buy more than I want. So I just buy twice as much now. And I knew my number that I wanted to hold. And that was over 10,000. And I'm just over 10,000 right now, but I sold about 10,000. So like when I say I made a lot of profit, I made a lot of profit. And it wasn't just XRP, but it's afforded me the opportunity here to be able to sit here with over 10,000 and to sit here with my HBAR and VeChain and ZIL and DGB and XLM and XRP and Algo, you know, and IOTX and MXC, you know, and a couple others, and it lets me sit here. But I've made a very large return. I've made, even if all of this went to zero, just if I'm being, I've made like $70,000 in this market. That's already in the pocket, and 40,000 of it's going to house repairs. I've already paid 12,000 on the window. The first of 3 that I pay of the 25,000 for my kitchen. But when they start Monday, I got to pay the second 8,600, and then the last one's gonna be 8,000. So I'm about to drop 16,000 this March. But it's from crypto profits. But I still own this whole bag because I live by a philosophy. You buy it, and then when it's up 2, 3, 4x, you take whatever you want. But you have your set amount that you were planning on. So like my goal was to have X amount. So I'm going to buy twice as much. And that's what my philosophy's been for a long time. So it's worked well for me. And then when you get caught up in these moments, you don't have to worry about it. Like when I had those moments and I said I sold 70% of my stuff, you know, and it's not, and the reason it was 70 and not 50 is because I sold out stuff wholesale that I didn't want to keep as well. That doesn't mean we didn't find trades. Like we bought CBAC, we bought a couple other ones that did very well, but it was just swing trades for me, you know, in the middle of a bearish trend. But I'm trying to teach lessons, like what I learned different from the first bull market to the second. Like you don't have to squeeze yourself so quickly, and you can still take advantage, you know, and not have to necessarily get out of the market. Because just because, you know, I took profits doesn't mean that I haven't been building. Like DGB, I'm over 1 million tokens, as you guys know. My plan was 100,000. And that's still up in potential. It's just it hasn't done dick. It started at 004 or whatever, and it's only at 007 cents. Some of them haven't done anything. You know? So, there's one that did good, Pepe. That's one of them. Some people just don't buy it until it gets all the way up to that big potential. So, it's, I don't know. It's a very tricky moment we're in. Because a lot of people ask me, what should I do? And it's like, first, I can't tell you because it would cause legality issues, and I'm not a financial advisor. So if I tell you to do X, Y, or Z and it doesn't go that way, like I could have opened myself to huge legality problems in 2021 when I begged my entire audience to sell at $1.66. Had that have went the other way and XRP went to $10, you better believe something probably would have showed up at my door. And it happened to some YouTubers. That's why I talk the way I do. Like, I can't tell you because it can't happen. Because some buffoon went outside their way and tried to blame the person, and they probably won something if you think about it. So, But in 2021, you know, it panned out, and I was confident, but I can't. Now I'm just like, this is what I do. I can't tell you what to do, but, you know, this is my philosophy. Buy twice as much as you planned on having. And if that means you got to buy one less thing, so friggin' be it. So be it. Ryan, what would I do? Just listen to what I'm saying. I've already told you in this entire live exactly what I would do. I would sell out when it was higher, like I did, like I told everybody back in December when it didn't feel right. And then, you know, you kind of got to wait for that right shoulder to be confirmed if you're really going to liquidate the entire holdings. But like, you got to follow the philosophy that I'm saying. It's too late now. You can't follow it now. But you can listen and learn. That's the best I can do for you. But now we got to do some reading. We've been 26 minutes. What the? Well, right now you can't do anything. XRP's over 214. It's over $1.98. So, like, you're in no man's land. Like, right now, you can't do anything. If you didn't sell and take profit now, I mean, there's really... I can't tell you there's no reason to do it, but don't sell yourself short if it hasn't broke that support. You know, don't... I think that, for me, you have to get that confirmation if you're going to a complete bear market. And to me, the problem is that's all the way down at $1.50 to get that confirmation. That's a long way down there. And I only say that because I've seen a gap, and it's been bothering me since December. And it's a problem. Well, let's read this. So, XRP lawsuit, Fred Rispoli says the case is over and claims resolution is simple. The XRP lawsuit has created growing anxiety within the crypto community, with many fearing a delay in the resolution despite the SEC's favorable stance. There's significant debate over its potential outcome. While some experts like Fred Rispoli believe the case could be easily dismissed, others believe that the complexities could lead to a longer settlement. This divide in opinions highlights the uncertainty surrounding the lawsuit's outcome. Fred Rispoli dismisses XRP lawsuit's complexity. In a recent X post, legal expert Fred Rispoli dismissed concerns about the XRP lawsuit's complexity, arguing that the resolution is simple and imminent. I don't know why SEC versus Ripple is still going, considering other major cases, especially Coinbase, have been dropped, he shared. He criticized the SEC's excuses as cowardly and dismisses fears over the absence of new SEC Chair Paul Atkins and Judge Annalisa Torres' $125 million penalty against Ripple as baseless. Rispoli remains confident that the lawsuit settlement is near. The case is over regardless, either now or in a few months, he expressed. Rispoli proposes a simple solution to end the Ripple vs. SEC case. As both sides drop their appeals, according to him, Ripple would agree to pay the $125 million penalty, putting an end to the lawsuit. By dropping the appeal, Ripple would give up its claim that the penalty is too high, making the payment final. However, this contrasts with more complex scenarios suggested by experts Meta Law Man. He believes that Ripple lawsuit won't end until several other cases, including those involving Gemini, Kraken, and Binance, are concluded. In a recent discussion, a crypto investor asked if Ripple could still challenge the ruling after the SEC withdraws its appeal, even if Ripple pays the $125 million penalty. Rispoli rejected this scenario, saying there's a 0% chance it could happen. He explained that if Ripple and the SEC drop their appeals, they can't continue with separate appeals, as these actions are mutually exclusive. Rispoli shared that discussions are ongoing while the reason for the delay remains unclear. He speculates that the holdup is likely due to the $125 million judgment, which is a significant factor that could be causing delay in resolving the situation. The SEC has settled with Coinbase and Robinhood, sparking optimism, but Ripple's case is still unresolved. While the SEC's recent settlements have sparked optimism, Ripple's future remains uncertain due to its ongoing legal battle. The SEC's positive stance on XRP ETFs is encouraging, but still Ripple's case is still a critical factor for XRP's future. Now listen, you see how they spin this in the media? Just hear me out. This should have zero impact, but the way like if you read this article and you had no idea and you're like, I'm going to invest in Ripple depending on what this says, or XRP, the way it sounds like, oh shit, they're still embroiled and I don't know, I don't want to really invest in them when there's a lawsuit, right? The truth is the only thing that this is about. It has nothing to do with their future. It's about how big of a fine Brad Garlinghouse, Christian A. Larson's, and the rest of the bunch at Ripple have to pay in total. And those two names are what are listed for the primary part. So that's why I always say both of them. It has no bearing or factor on the fact that this can be ruled a security here or ever in the future. Already been an amendment, so it should say, but the legal status of XRP is not for debate. It's already been ruled not a security, and it cannot be changed regardless of any kind of outcome, further appeal, and such and such. That's what it should say, but instead they always leave it open as the future is up to this, and yada, 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 so on and so forth. So just at least have the education to know that this can't be changed. It's a monetary thing right now. It's how much greed the government has and how much they think they need to keep the egg off their face. That's all this is. It has nothing to do with the legality of XRP as a security. It never has been since they came to final judgment in 23, and it never can be in the future. Now on to the next. Does that make sense? After taxes, buying fees, selling fees, no way for me. Yeah, see, I don't sell to just buy back in, to be honest with you. If I'm doing it, there's a reason that I'm trying to build into more. So, and things that haven't popped yet. So there's always a rhyme or reason, but yeah, just to sell to buy, I mean, even if it's not a tax thing, it just gets expensive with fees, that's all. I mean, unless you're on something like BITUNIX and you're off the radar. That's different if you're just, but still. Even if you're dealing with $20,000 and you got to pay 60 or 65 bucks in and out, that's still 60 or 65 bucks each way. And then you keep doing that over and over, you know, it's so XRP in focus as Ripple releases institutional roadmap for XRP ledger. And I was interested that some of this came out today. So fundamental investors tracking XRP have more reason to cheer as a planned set of features aims to make the XRP ledger, the network underpinning that token, even more appealing for institutional usage. XRP prices are up 2.2% in the past 24 hours, outperforming a 1.1% decline in Bitcoin following Tuesday's market carnage. Ripple said in a Tuesday update, the XRP ledger network will build out more compliance functions and expanded lending. Among other features, the let institutions meet regulatory requirements and offer new lending options. These include flexible tokens, a lending system, an EVM sidechain, and permissionless settings that take place directly on the decentralized network without any intermediaries. The updates are in addition to features already live in the network, or on the network, including clawback, a feature allowing the issuer to reclaim tokens tied to illicit activity to decentralized identity applications. Flexible tokens are digital items representing anything, like bonds or collectibles, and come with extra details to make them more useful. A new lending tool. Man, my glasses are really kind of like dirty. I didn't want to clean them, but man, it's kind of hard when you can continuously see what's dirty on your glasses, and you're like, man, it would be so much easier if that little fog wasn't there. So what did I say? Permission setting can let companies set rules who can use certain features, keeping things private and secure, helping meet legal standards and protect sensitive financial activities. Furthermore, the release of XRPL EVM sidechain, which is slated for a mainnet launch in the second quarter of 2025, is expected to attract more developers to the network. This development aims to integrate developers from the EVM ecosystem and the XRP ledger framework by enabling support for protocols that are not feasible on the existing XRPL infrastructure. XRP will be the main token used to pay for transacting on this network, including all financial applications. The Ethereum EVM is a decentralized computing engine that executes smart contracts on the Ethereum blockchain, enabling programmable automated transactions. So we'll read more into that when it comes to the roadmap. What exactly is this with Trump? I'm not sure. What did I miss? I don't think this is relevant to what we're talking about.
Hosted by me, Jen Sanasi. On this show, we take a look at the biggest news headlines and explore the impact that they have.
Nah, not interested. Okay. But good talk. Good talk, lady. Appreciate your due diligence. Let's see. Did we get a switch on the crypto fear and greed index after 7? 10. Look at that, folks. Woo! Guys, 10. Oh my God. This is happy days are here again. I don't know if any of you ever played Assassin's Creed back on like the PS3 days. the first or second, but when you would throw gold, and I'd be gold, gold, happy days are here again, and then you would just pickpocket them as they were picking up the gold. But that's not the point. The point is that's what just went through my head when I seen 10. When I seen 10, that is beautiful. We've been waiting for guys. If I didn't know any better, I would say they're setting us up for hook, line, and sinker, and we're about to go the other way soon. Now I can't tell you if it's going to be a day, a week, but that's where if I wanted to see, and if I told you XRP was, let me rephrase this. If I told you the fear and greed index was at a 10, when Bitcoin was still at 84,000 and XRP was at $2.20, that is awesome. This is awesome. You know what I think we need to do, ladies and gentlemen? I know what time it is. Do you know what time it is? And I know it's not the end yet. And this might scare some of you away because some of you are new. But we haven't done this in a while. But we do it all the time since 2021, in the bad and the good. And you can see all the times the sun has been drawn because we keep them up there. So, ladies and gentlemen, I know what time it is. Do you know what time it is? Ladies and gentlemen, the sunny days are here again. Oh, sunny days. Oh, what a day. Oh, sunny days. Oh, what a day. I wear glasses 'cause I can't see a motherfucking thing. Happy days. Oh, happy days. Oh, what a day. Oh, happy days. Oh, what a day. XRP will reign supreme. Let's just not get caught in the FUD. Oh, we're gonna crash and we did and we will and we won't and we did and we have and we will and we do and we won't and we will and we just can't figure it out anymore. Stay true. Stay blessed. You know what's awesome? The fear and greed is at 10. Your daughter is delighted, Tanya. Oh, awesome. I know she loved it. I think this used to give Tanya nightmares back in the day. But her daughter loved it, so I'm sure she's a fan now. I'm not sure what happened to this, but I swear he's not Pinocchio. What happened here? But we can, for PG purposes, we can take that away. Yeah, now look at him. See, very happy. He's a very happy one today. So, I like it. I like it. Exactly, Mandy. You are 100% right. And you know what else makes me feel good? Gold. Gold had a good day today in silver. Maybe not the gold and silver metal, but commodities had a decent day. B2 Gold continues to ink up to 288. Dividends will be paid soon. Barrett Gold was up about 2.25%. Silver miners did a little better. First Majestic up 4.39%. Fortuna Silver Mines had a nice reversal of 5.72%, 1.14% in after hours. So, and that's pretty simple how my holdings are. I have 1,000 Fortuna Silver Mines, 1,000 First Majestic, 222 Barrett Gold. I have 3,000 B2 Gold, which may be overweighted with their horrible earnings, but for some reason it continues to go up, and I'll continue to be happy as it makes money. But they're severely undervalued. They still made money. It's just they missed by 80-something%. And then I'll put this on here. I never usually talk about it, but I do have, for transparency purposes, I have Newmont Mining. And I know some of you know because I talked about it when it was a lot cheaper than it is now. But I have a fascination with Newmont Mining, and it's not... Oh, that's not the right one. Well, it's NEM, but that's not the right one. I need it in the New York Stock Exchange. There we go. All right, so who am I going to delete? What did I accidentally put on here? H-bar, V-chain, blah, 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 blah. For all intents and purposes, forget that for now. But yeah, this is the last part of my puzzle right now for commodities. This is the world's largest mining producer, or the world's largest producer of metals through mining. Couple percent dividend they pay, but I just like them because they were severely undervalued. at one point, and everybody dumped it. So it was a pretty crazy thing that ended up taking place. So I mean, you could put it in silver or gold. Doesn't really matter which area you want to put it in. Since I have all these ones with the gold, I'll put this under the gold silver ratio just to put it in its own category. But it is up a little bit. I mean, it's up like $7 a share since I bought it. But I don't usually talk about it because it's not one that pays. It's not kind of on the list of my smaller ones. This is one that's more well known. I mean, they're all well known. Like Barrett Gold's a big one. But anyhow, that's the list of what I own. So I think the value somewhere around 27,000 as of right now. Newmont Mining is, I believe, 100 shares. Like 103 shares of Newmont Mining. Nothing crazy. Yeah, 103 of those, 222 of Barrett, 3,000 of B2 Gold, 1,000 of First Majestic and Fortuna Silver Mines each of shares. So I like to balance it between crypto, commodities. I also have a CD that pays like 3.6% for 2 months. And I'm just going to keep rolling that over as long as it gives me close to 4%. I like the 2 months because you don't have to keep it in for the 9 months. And right now it's the highest one, which is crazy. So I'm trying to sit some of the money out and have that sitting in a risk-free environment. Even though it's not going to keep up with inflation, it's still safer than playing the markets, even a commodities market, because you never know. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't think I can see your comments, if I'm being honest. But it's nothing new. It happens all the time. They don't want me to see my audience comments anymore. Unless my live just ended and I don't even know it. I mean, that's a possibility. It does this sometime. Because, you know, there's a strong possibility sometimes that it just ends. Oh, good. They didn't end it. This is great. Ah, you guys are here. Look at that. It came through. It came through. Hope that's the nose. Ah, I love it. Yes, like Nick said, be a vampire when there's blood. Be a vampire when there's blood. So let's see some more key facts because, you know, we've seen a lot on the charts. I mean, we really have. And I remember the one from yesterday. I wanted to show H-bar, and I just couldn't, for some reason, figure it out. But see how H-bar came all the way down and filled out that exhaustion wick? It came all the way down and filled it out. So, and that was all the way down at 17.8, and it literally came all the way down. Could be a Batman top. I mean, these could be. So, I mean, we could continue to look at that, but we're going to have to see what kind of wild bouncer is going to be. That USDC money printing and the fact that the fear and greed's at 10, you couple that with this. I mean, this seems to be a good thing, at least in my opinion. Where are we at now? But there was so much money printed that it seems to be a good thing. Yeah, that was 13,000 Bitcoin worth 1 billion has been withdrawn from BITUNIX. Shocker. Where was that money printed? And that you better believe that's what helped, along with BlackRock and other entities. The exchanges, make no mistake about it, they've been the world's biggest seller of Bitcoin and Ethereum and bringing this market down, while they've simultaneously been sucking up your leverage. And it's why I keep talking more and more and more about don't do leverage. I don't even like to show leverage in the least because I think that's the biggest game. And the rich don't usually use leverage because they have enough money to buy what they want. But us, because we can't necessarily buy everything we want, we'll fall victim to leverage, right? We've all been there because you're like, hey, I can buy everything I want and then some just by using leverage. Just by using leverage. Now I can't even find what I'm looking for. See, I can't figure it out. But there was, I think, 450 million in USDC, but we'll see because this could get ugly. Like I said, this could just fall right off the map if these are topping reversals. But at a 10, I would expect somewhere we're going to get some kind of volatility to the upside. It's not safe. This isn't a safe area to just sit in and buy, in a sense. But like if you haven't entered on certain things and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe they're at bear market lows and then worse on some. You know, obviously I can see the temptation for sure. You know, for sure. Let's see. But yeah, we seen at the end of the 3 hourly, it looked a little bearish. So, and we've had these bearish crosses in the daily. So we really need a severe rebound. We need a severe turnaround. Now, the crypto fear and greed is something. That's not something to be ignored. But it doesn't mean it has to turn around right away. That just means that at some point here, you know, that fear is going to turn into money for somebody. The greed always turns into some deficit for somebody, and the fear always turns into profit for somebody. So, you know, you don't want to be on the side of greed when you're losing bank, but you want to be on the side of fear when you can make some. So, and that's where we're at right now. Timed out pretty perfectly, though, because we're heading towards these support structures. So it was a pretty good timing for it to drop the way it did. For Bitcoin, in order to avoid 74K, I mean, technically, when we were talking about this yesterday, that's 78,800. If this kept playing through, and we got a rejection here. So, you know, this did not hold on. We're back within and below that broadening wedge, and the target outside that broadening wedge is 74,981. So we could theoretically drop another 10,000 points here and still be within that drop point, and it lines up pretty good with a, you know, support that could have been a back test after the breakout of a cup and handle because we never really came down there, and it's been a problem here with Bitcoin. So, I mean, we just got to see. Your audience is depressed and bankrupt now, Tom. I highly doubt they're bankrupt if they've been watching. If they're my audience and they've been watching, they're not bankrupt. This has been my most profitable market that I've ever been in as part of this show. So, assuming that people are mimicking my moves, which most don't, it's impossible for it to be that way. Now, someone who might have followed me, you know, after the bull market started or bought in the bull market, well, that's different. I could get that. But I would hope the majority of you are, in fact, not broke. But, you know, as the old saying goes, 95% lose. No, yeah, I hear you, Nick. I definitely hear you. Like that's, yeah, absolutely. Like taking your profits and putting into something that's down. That's how you start to compound, you know, different assets. But you know, it's still that game. It's that fine game right now. Now, to me, it's like I like to consolidate holdings that are in profit, but are ones that aren't part of my long-term plans, and ones that I might have just gotten not too long. Like I like to do that and then start to expand if I can. But you know, this is what we wanted to play out if this was bullish. Right now, it's back testing this area, but if it doesn't roll back up for even algo, you know, it hasn't done dick yet, though. That's the thing. Like, algo hasn't done anything. It hasn't done anything. You know, so Musk has a big interest in this. Don't let go. No, yeah, he definitely has a big interest. They all do, but, you know, sometimes risk assets get hit the hardest in the times when inflation's about, you know, when inflation starts to be pronounced and it starts to be more widely understood that that's what's going on. You know, sometimes, you know, weird stuff happens. How does this even make sense? How is Fortuna Silver Mines up 1.14% in after hours, but it's got the price at 442? I'm not sure what's going on there. I've been questioning that since I started. Like, what the hell does that mean? Is that just a misprint? But it definitely wouldn't be my plus 1.14% if it was down 20 cents in after hours. It'd be minus, I don't know, sometimes it makes no sense. But yeah, I mean, there's not much more we can talk about this evening. There really isn't. Because we're at these inflection points. And for XRP, it's at $2.14. If $2.14 were to be lost, then we start to bring some of these other narratives into play. And, well, maybe not even 214. Like, I like where Nick was talking about 209, but even $1.98 that FEG talks about, that's a big area. And I could see even this holding that consolidation. But then you got like $1.76, $1.75, and if that breaks, we got that $1.50 area. But this, and then we got the gaps in 92 or whatever. I mean, this could get ugly quick. So whether you played this one way or another, no matter what happens in this market, learn from it. Even if this is the end and you think of all these things you could have did, remember it for next time. It's just when the greed is at 10, the fear and greed is at extreme greed at 10. I'm telling you, it's unlikely that they just come through on extreme greed. That's or extreme fear. That's when most people are out of the market now. They've let the greed push them out. When it's extreme greed, that means not even people are selling their positions. People aren't even buying it now. So it pushes it into an area of, oh my God, it's all greed or all fear. Just like when it was extreme greed, everybody who was buying in the new market, nobody was taking profits from the market. They were too greedy, saying there's no chance it can go down. It can only go up. And here we are, 40% lower in most cases, some more. So that's the importance of extreme fear and extreme greed. And right now it's that extreme fear. Everybody's so panicked they're selling, but nobody's thinking about buying. That's exactly where you should be striking. It's crazy how this shit works. Yep, I talked about that. Doesn't anybody remember a few days ago when I said that there was rumblings that they moved it back from March to July? So that was going to have to wait, the implementation of the ISO. I talked about that a few weeks ago. Even last week I talked about it. Hell, this week I've talked about it at the beginning of the week. But yeah, that's something that was starting to be rumored a couple weeks ago. And now that we've actually had confirmation here in the past not so long, you know, that actually, it gives validation to things. But I would not be surprised right now if this is where they decide to have a reversal. I would not be surprised. You know, just hold on to your hats here is all I'm saying. Hold on to your hats. XRP open interest drops to 2025 low. Are altcoin traders giving up? XRP price declined 16.8% between February 23rd and 26th, leading to 79 million in leveraged long futures liquidations. You know what? While all this is happening and we're in extreme fear, if you're looking to trade the market, I'll put it in the video description below and our pinned comments of this video after it's over. But look on my homepage. Thank you all. We just went over 31,300 subscribers today, so that's awesome to get to the next 100. As you can imagine, not as many people are watching crypto, but we still continue to find a few people every single day, so that's beautiful. But if you're looking, BITUNIX is where I trust the most. It's got the lowest spot and leverage trading fees, lower maker-taker fee if you are a leverage trader. Spot trading is fantastic, XRP and so many more. And then I would look down a little bit farther at BLOFIN. If you're looking to like buy and sell stuff a little bit cheaper, you can actually send some stuff from BLOFIN and send it over to crypto.com if you're going that route like we do from BITUNIX. Like you can do XLM and a couple others that aren't on BITUNIX to send over on their Stellar network or Lumens. So I kind of use them in cahoots, you know, but BITUNIX is where I like it. I like crypto.com for the fact that they have a lot of assets that aren't in a lot of places, and they have the crypto Visa debit card and so many things. You can send a donation off of YouTube on PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo. Certainly don't expect it, especially when we're bearish like this. But please hit that like button before you leave. Make sure to hit that share button so we can share this on social media. And after I read this, I'm going to help with my son. And then, you know, but we'll continue this later. Tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or 6:30 roughly. But I'm going to do a short again tonight. I'm trying to do the shorts after my live now by a couple hours, so maybe at 9, 10 o'clock, so that there's some kind of content later in the day. Like we do the update in the morning, but when I do the short at like 12 or 1, that's not really a big gap from the morning update. Like there's still that, and we still have the live. So I think something after the live, after a few hours, when we get into the trading cycle of the next day, I think is helpful. So the price declined 16.8% between the 23rd and 26th of February, leading to 79 million in leveraged long futures liquidations. Notably, the correction occurred despite a largely positive regulatory outlook and increasing odds of approval for a spot XRP exchange-traded fund ETF in the United States. At the same time, open interest in XRP futures fell to its lowest level in 2025, indicating that traders have been unwinding leveraged positions. While this shift does not necessarily signal a broader bearish sentiment, it raises concerns about whether XRP's bullish momentum has weakened. The aggregate open interest in XRP's future dropped to XRP 1.33 billion, marking an 8% decline from previous week. In comparison, Solana open interest fell 4% over the same period, while the aggregate futures market for Doge remained flat. To determine whether traders are losing interest in XRP, it's essential to analyze the funding rate of perpetual contract inverse swaps. The rate charged by exchanges to balance leverage demand turns positive when long buy positions pay to hold, signaling bullish sentiment. Conversely, a negative rate suggests bearish outlook. XRP's 8-hour funding rate has remained near zero since December 9th, indicating a balanced leverage demand between bulls and bears. The last brief surge in leverage demand occurred on December 4th, 2024, following a 140% rally in XRP's price over 2 weeks. Notably, this peak in buying pressure preceded a sharp 22% correction in less than 3 days. So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff here, but, you know, the bottom line remains, is there buying interest? That's what we're going to find out. Yes, there's less open interest and things like that. But, you know, we'll find out to see if there's any kind of developments in the case and things like that. But I'm going to go deal with my son in a good way. I do anything for him, so I'm going to go do anything for him. Have a blessed evening, everybody. Don't forget to give thanks to the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Remain humble, show humility, and help each other. Hashtag be better, do better in the comments. Hashtag FUD Assassins. And remember, help one person each and every day. Because if I don't do my part and you don't do your part, man, is it going to be a slippery slope. A lot less education and a lot more loneliness. It's much